Hello everyone and welcome to our Instagram live event. The topic of today's educational event is BRICS digital currency and its effect on crypto and fiat. Um, my name is Paul Arsov and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. Before starting to talk about the topic of today, let me tell you a little bit about our project. We're building decentralized communication and advertising platform, and in the same time, we are close to release of NFT collection and NFT marketplace based on three-dimensional objects. When we're talking about decentralization, most of the times people think of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Blockchain technology, it was the first technology which started the drive towards decentralization. But if we are looking at why do we need decentralization, we have to bring the examples of Facebook, Meta, and Google. As you know, Facebook Meta is the largest provider of social networking sites and services, and Google, on the other hand, is the largest provider of web search. What happens is both Google and Facebook Meta, they have billions of users, and these billions of users are going to a single website. This is very, very centralized internet use, and it is only through decentralization which allows direct communication from user to user without going through a server. Only in this way it is possible to break the monopolies of companies like Facebook, Meta, and Google. What we have in our project is a decentralization software engine, and as I mentioned, the essence of decentralization is direct communication from user to user without going through a server. So why blockchain technology is not suitable and cannot drive decentralization? Blockchain technology has lots of issues and flaws. It has limited number of transactions it can handle, like even though there are claims of new types of blockchains handling thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions of transactions per second, but these are very, very big exaggerations. Basically, the limitation of this is like the speed of light, and like a website which claims they can handle thousands, tens of thousands, or millions of transactions, they're still subjected to the speed of light. And so the claims of these blockchains are based on transactions which are already collected in the nodes of of a specific blockchain, and then the node, a single node, they may handle maybe thousands, tens of thousands, or millions of transactions, but not not at the point of submitting transactions to the blockchains. And like another significant flaw which is overlooked by most of the people is the size of transactions. So we are at the current web, the current internet, it's labeled Web 2.0. And lots of people, they claim having Web 3, which is supposed to be next generation of internet, and they're basing Web 3 on blockchain technology. But looking at the size of transactions of blockchains, the size of transactions are in the amounts of tens of bytes. Basically, these are transfers from one account on a blockchain to another account on the same blockchain. And if we're looking at the current internet, it handles transactions of hundreds of bytes or kilobytes or megabytes or even gigabytes of data in sending or receiving of data. And so what kind of internet can people claim to be having if it can handle transactions with tens of bytes? So this is laughable, but most of the people do not realize and do not think of looking this way at blockchain technology. So that's I did mention that the flows of blockchain technology, but in our project we still have a blockchain instance, but this blockchain instance it plays just a support role for our project. So it is just a building block and not the central element of our project. When looking at most of the other projects, the blockchain or the coin or the token, they're the central element for the project. And in our project, it is just a support element, and it is not the central element. The central element is the software engine which does direct communication from user to user. In the same way, we plan to employ artificial intelligence, to have it as an element, not the central element, but support element for our project. That's it regarding talking about the technology of our project, but success of our project and success of every other project depends on marketing. It depends on building a community of people who are interested in the project, and they're looking and they're waiting to get the latest and greatest of the project. And to build our community, we do posting on multiple social networks. The list of social networks is very, very long. It includes Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Reddit, Discord, and TikTok. From this very, very long list of social networks, we're focusing on Instagram, Twitter, and Telegram. We organize events, like today's event is educational event. It happens on Instagram Live, and Instagram Live is video and audio communication channel. So we have an educational event which happens every Saturday as well, but Saturdays the event is happening on Twitter Space, which is audio only channel. Um, the events on Saturdays and Sundays, they're educational events, and they're recurring every week. Every week we have a new topic which is presented Saturdays on Twitter Space and Sundays on Instagram Live. In addition to these educational events, we have a recurring weekly event on Thursdays. And the events on Thursdays are Ask Me Anything sessions, and one Thursday we have a general Ask Me Anything session which covers the topic of crypto, market sentiment, blockchain technology, Web3, NFTs, decentralization, central bank digital currencies, and etc. The following Thursday we have Ask Me Anything session, but it is oriented specifically on NFTs. Why do we have Ask Me Anything session specific about NFTs? I did mention in the very beginning that we are very close to release of marketplace and a collection of NFTs, and these NFTs are going to be based on three-dimensional objects. So what we have is very, very new, very, very innovative, and very, very different than the ordinary NFT releases and ordinary NFT marketplaces. So if we're looking at the difference with our NFTs versus ordinary NFTs, we know that ordinary NFTs, they are based on two-dimensional images, and most often these two-dimensional images are static and not animated. Occasionally there are images based on GIF standard, and GIF standard allows having a sequence of images which play repetitively. So what we have in our project is a three-dimensional object, and this three-dimensional object is loaded by our own software engine. And after the three-dimensional NFT object is loaded in our software engine, it starts being animated, and it starts moving on the screen in a random way. So this is the first feature and capability of our 3D NFTs. And the second feature of our 3D NFTs is that this 3D NFT is going to speak, and it can have one of three different voices. The 3D NFT can speak in a male voice, or in a female voice, or in a whisper voice. In addition to these three basic voices, we have flavors of the voices, and the voice can come in normal speed, or in a fast speed, or in a slow speed. And if the 3D object is speaking in a male voice, then the voice is spoken in a slow speed, then the voice can come as a very masculine voice, or a voice of old person as well. And on the other hand, if we are looking at a female voice, and this female voice is spoken in a fast speed, then the voice is maybe coming as the voice of a little girl, or a funny voice. So currently I'm describing the capabilities of our upcoming 3D NFTs and um, like a marketplace based on our 3D NFTs. And the next capability of our 3D NFTs is that they're going to have voice recognition capability. So they're going to be capable of recognizing voice commands by the user. For example, a 3D NFT which keeps moving on the screen. The user can issue a command to this 3D NFT to stop moving, and then this 3D NFT is going to stop moving. Then you can issue the command to start moving, and this 3D NFT is going to start moving. Then you can issue commands to move left, move right, move up, move down, and then this 3D NFT is going to fulfill this command and move left, move right, move up, or move down. So that's regarding to the like voice recognition capability, and the next capability of our upcoming 3D NFT is that they're going to have a basic artificial intelligence capability. You can ask this 3D NFT what is your name, and then this 3D NFT is going to reply with their name. You can ask this 3D NFT who are you, and the 3D NFT is going to reply in few sentences who they are. You can ask this 3D NFT to describe something. For example, describe Web3, or describe decentralization, or describe Russia. And then this 3D NFT is going to describe in few sentences about decentralization, or about Web3, or about the country called Russia. And the final capability of our 3D NFTs is that these 3D NFTs are going to have a version which is displayed in color separation, and it is going to be stereoscopic. Stereoscopic means like part of this 3D NFT is going to be displayed in red or reddish color, and part of the object is going to be displayed in blue or bluish color. Then we are going to send glasses to the user if our users do request these glasses. And as you see, one lens of these glasses is red and the other lens is blue. And if you, the user, put these glasses and look at an object which is displayed with color separation, a little bit red and reddish, a little bit blue and bluish, you can see this object coming out of the screen in 3 dimensions. So that's the final and last capability of our upcoming 3D NFTs. And I think like what we are offering is very, very interesting and very, very innovative. I mentioned that we're preparing 3D NFT marketplace, and the difference between our marketplace and other marketplaces is that other marketplaces like Blur or OpenSea or Raribles, they're oriented mainly towards two-dimensional images. So what we have in our marketplace is that it is oriented specifically towards three-dimensional images and collections based on three the objects. Um, So the second difference between our NFT marketplace and other NFT marketplaces is that people coming to other standard NFT marketplaces, creators coming to these marketplaces, uh, they bring a collection and at the point of like placing a collection, they have to choose one specific blockchain which they are going to deploy their creations as smart contracts and become non-fungible tokens. Um, after after deploying and choosing a specific blockchain, all of the buying and selling of specific collection is done in a single crypto coin. In our marketplace, as I mentioned, we have our own blockchain instance, and it allows us to not to charge our users with a gas fee for deploying of smart contracts on our own blockchain. It also allows buyers who are coming to our NFT marketplace to buy in a number, not just with a single crypto coin, but in a number of crypto coins. Currently, we have a choice of 4 different crypto coins, and the choice includes Solana Sol, Avalanche AVAX, Polygon Matic, and Qcoin, which is a big centralized exchange, Qcoin KCS. In addition to crypto coins, we allow buying and selling of NFTs directly in fiat currency. For example, if there is a buyer which comes to our 3D NFT marketplace and they like to pay directly with fiat currency, they could use their credit or debit card and they can pay directly with fiat currency, which is converted to then to US dollars, and we're receiving the amount. So the buying currency can be like one of a number of different national currencies. And let's say there is a buyer who bought their 3D NFT with fiat currency, and they put their 3 NFT for sale. And let's say there is another buyer who is coming and they're buying this 3D NFT which was put for sale. Then the first, so like we have a first transaction of first transaction which happened for the buyer for paying this amount, and the payment arrives in our bank account. But we're doing then a second transaction which is going to the from our bank account to the bank account of the original first buyer of this 3 NFT. So this is like a part of buying and selling directly with fiat currency and like outside of cryptocurrency. So we have two major and main choices of paying either in crypto coins and like paying in multiple crypto coins, or paying directly in fiat currency, buying and selling both ways. That's it. Like I have started talking about our project, but we have to come back to the topic of today. And uh, we are currently on Instagram Live, and it is possible for people who come to the live session to write something in the chat section. You're welcome to write some question or comment in the chat section, and then I'm going to respond through the presentation. But coming back to the topic of today, the topic of today is BRICS digital currency and its effects on crypto and fiat currencies. Um, the talk was inspired by several articles that I did read about a meeting of BRICS countries, and BRICS is um, abbreviation which stands for a group of countries. Um, B stands for Brazil, R stands for Russia, I stands for India, C stands for China, and S stands for South Africa. Um, this group of countries, they had a meeting on around the end of August, between August 23rd to about 25th or 26th. And at the meeting of these countries, there was an announcement that there's an initiative of these countries to create a digital currency, and this digital currency, the initiative did include that it is going to be tied to gold, and this digital currency is supposed to be an alternative to the current global reserve currency, which is the US dollar. So what happened in the in the meeting are some discussions, but the initiative is on the table. So we have to see in the following meetings in several months or next year if there's specific work towards implementation of this digital currency, and if any work has been done on the implementation of this. In the meeting, I believe the driver for this or the drivers for these initiatives are China and Russia. So if we're looking at China, China already has their own central bank digital currency, and this central bank digital currency is based on and it's supposed to replace the paper Chinese yuan or renminbi or RMB. So if we're looking at adoption of their central bank digital currency, what I did read is that the currency was announced, and it came into existence in September 2021. Around the end of 2022, I did read that there are about 300 million accounts of Chinese central bank digital currency. This number is very significant, and China is the country with the largest population. So, we we have a big number of accounts, but we have to look also at the uh, actual use of this central bank digital currency, and there are no specific reports on the actual use of this currency. But still, the number of accounts which have been created is significant, and early or late, this central bank digital currency is going to start being used more and more, and it is going to come into significant operations and significant transaction amounts. So, if we are looking at the models of central bank digital currency, we can say that there are two main models in implementation of digital currency. One of them is the model, and the decentralized model of the central bank of a specific country, which is going to handle most, if not all, of the transactions, and it is going to handle the technology behind these transactions and their handling. This type of model allows control, and so it is the mostly governments who like to have control over the population, and it depends on governments if they're going to insist or force the central bank to do their implementation, and everything to go to the central bank. But we can look at the second model of central bank digital currencies, and the second model is the retail model. And in this model, the central bank of a country, they sign several big commercial banks as the providers of the central bank digital currency, and these central banks and retail banks in general, they're interested in not that much in the control, but they're interested in the business. They're interested in movement of the money, and maybe parking, storing money, giving this money for a certain percentage of interest, and then collecting interest, and also parking this money into the central bank accounts, and then getting some interest back. So these are the two models of central bank digital currency, and the meeting of the BRICS countries, I believe they have to decide whether to have a unified model, which is going to have either the centralized model, and it is going to be handled by the specific central banks of this group of countries, or it is going to be the retail model, and there are going to be a number of banks, a number of commercial banks, which are going to handle this upcoming digital currency. We could be having maybe a mix between the two models because some of the countries they may decide on one of the models, and other countries they may decide on the other model. I believe currently the implementation of China is based on the centralized model, and the transactions in their central bank digital currency are handled by the People's Bank of China. So like this is like a very big bank, and like it is handling all of the current accounts in China. There could be evolution in within these two models, but so we are in the very beginning of implementation of central bank digital currencies, and many other countries they are looking, and they're working on the creation of central bank digital currency. For example, we have the announcement and initiative of like U.S. Like Federal Reserve. They're working with like several like institutes and universities and technology providers to have creation of the U.S. Central Bank digital currency. Like they have been the announcement in the European Union as well to create central bank digital currency based on the euro, and there also announcement of like Bank of Japan and Bank of England for creation of central bank digital currencies in UK and in Japan as well. But coming back to the countries, to the meeting of the BRICS countries, I mentioned that like probably the drivers of this announcement of creation of digital currency for the BRICS countries were mainly China, and Russia. So if so, we did look at China as the first country, but the second country is which is driver behind this announcement for digital currency is Russia. And if we look at Russia, Russia is the biggest size country in the world. It's a very big oil producer. I believe they're number 2 or number 3 behind Saudi Arabia as a big oil producer. And also like having this big territory, they also have huge national resources, which are some of which are at the point of being explored, or they have also unexplored, like a huge amount of resources which are still unexplored. Like why? What is the reason between the motivation of what is the motivation of China and Russia for announcing this currency? If we're looking at China, we can see that China is in a trade war with the US, and like China is a very ambitious country, and like if we're looking at like the history after World War II, we could look that we could find that there was a forming of two big blocks, the block of the West and the block of the East. And block of the West, it did consist of US, Western Europe, and some other developed countries, and like Soviet Union, Eastern Europe, and several other countries, including China. But in the 1970s, there was an opening in the politics. I believe the first politician which they approached China was Richard Nixon. He went he went to China, and it was the start of some warming up between US and China. Basically, the goal of US was um, to pull China back from the bloc of the eastern countries, and they did succeed in this. There was a cooling off between the relations uh, in the relations between China and the Soviet Union. On the other hand, there was initiative of Deng Xiaoping to do economic reforms in China. And starting in the 1970s in the Pearl River Delta, which is the area around Shenzhen and southern China, there was economic zone created for which started manufacturing of goods. Fast forward from that time in the 1970s to present time. So now we have China, a country which became the factory of the world. So lots of goods, very big percentage, maybe 2/3, 3/4, 90%, or even 99% of the goods, specific goods manufactured in the world, they're manufactured in China. China started with manufacturing of importing parts, then assembling these parts, and then shipping and exporting finished products. Currently, most of the supply lines, they're originated in China. They get only raw materials, either locally or import materials, and from these materials they produce parts, components, sub-assembly, and finished products. So almost most of the things which are produced, very rarely they import components and parts outside of China to build and assemble something. Most of the times everything is produced in China. So currently China became maybe the biggest economy in the world. So if we're looking at the output of China, economic output in China in US dollars, because of the exchange ratio between US dollar and Chinese yuan, people can still say that US has the biggest economy in the world. But if this exchange ratio changes, and if we're looking at the manufacturing and economic output of the economy of China, we can confidently say that even now, currently, China is the biggest economy in the world. Um, so, um, I mentioned the events in the 1970s, the approach of US to China. Like China did cool off the relations between with them with the Soviet Union. Um, like they um, they became the biggest the biggest economy as Israel is China was used that this trade war is uh, being Biden as well. Global this trade surround uh, like the growth of China because China has the ambition to become number one and um, global empire. Global empire was a term coined by U.S. Economist and think tank owner and book writer called Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio started his career in the like 1970s during Nixon, and he started uh, his career on starting from at that time to the present time. He has a very big knowledge and a very deep knowledge of the economic processes and what's happening in the world. His latest book talks about the rise and fall of global empires, and he is looking at the history of the world, and he is mentioning the global empire of the Dutch, which was a trade-based empire, and at that time in the uh, 1700s, 1800s, like the Dutch was the leading leading trade nation, and their Dutch gulden was the basically the reserve currency of the world at that time. Uh, the, the global empire of the Dutch was replaced by the global empire of the British, and like the British Empire was a trade empire, plus they had lots of colonies. Um, at that time, starting with like 1800s and then going to the 1900s, like the British pound was the basically the reserve currency of the world. But starting like um, in the beginning of the 20th century, the United States started rapidly developing, and like if we're looking at the middle of the century, we have the event of the Second World War, um, and like the United States did participate in this Second World War. The country was like the territory of the country was not invaded, and they managed to start very big manufacturing, and starting at that time they became the leading manufacturing nation of the world. They did help other countries like UK and Soviet Union with like raw materials and military goods, military hardware. Uh, and lots of countries, they were owing money because of this help, and they were paying back to the US as well. So starting after the World War II, like US became the global empire of the world, and um, I think like the top and the very big point was in the 1990s, maybe in the middle 1990s, and after this we have um, like a decline of the economic power, and we have the emerging and rise of China as probably the next global empire. So currently we have the US dollar as the global reserve currency, and the trade between countries is done in US dollars. For example, if we have two countries, and these two countries, they have their own currency, and one of the countries wants to buy something make a large purchase from the other country. So what is happening is the first country, they have to convert their national currency and buy US dollars. Then they send these US dollars to the second country, and then the second country is sending goods to the first country, or and they decide either to sell these US dollars, or uh, keep them in their foreign currency reserves. So this is the way global trade is done. And with the emergence of China, we are seeing some of the global trade uh, done between China and countries directly in Chinese yuan, or maybe some precious metal like gold, for example. With this announcement of the BRICS countries, I think China wants to have additional currency, which like it is going to be supported not only by the economy of China, but of the economies of the other countries in the group of the BRICS countries. So this so we were looking at the motivation of China for this announcement of central bank digital currency, but the second driver behind this announcement of digital currency of the BRICS country is Russia as well. And the motivation of Russia is that currently they're into a war with Ukraine, and the biggest supporter with military hardware and advisors to the Ukraine is uh, actually the United States. They're sending military hardware, and they're sending advisors to Ukraine to help Ukrainian side. Basically, Ukraine is like a proxy in like a direct is used as a proxy in a war between US and Russia. So the goal of the U.S. is to stay as leading uh, global empire and like uh, uh, to to stay at this position. Like there are only maybe two countries which can challenge this position in a military way. Uh, One of them is China, and like it's a nuclear armed country, and it has relatively low number of nuclear warheads. But the other country is Russia, and they have a very significant number of nuclear warheads, and uh, like they in a nuclear war they could do a very significant damage to other countries which Russia would decide to target. So like I so I mentioned motivation of the country behind digital currency and the driver of the country, the driver behind this announcement. But if we're looking at the reaction of the rest of the group of the countries, the reaction is probably still undecided. The rest of the group of the countries, which includes uh, India, Brazil, and South Africa, is that they're going to study the proposal, but like there are no concrete steps on the implementation or um, how is this going to be done. I believe China would be starting on the implementation, and probably they're going to offer something uh, on the next and following meetings in several months or later. Uh, but if we're in the way of implementation, the way of implementation was like the announcement mentions basing this new digital currency on the price of gold. But the price of gold is actually related to the to a specific currency, and so the uh, the specific uh, currencies they have to be relatively stable, and essentially the exchange ratio from one of the currencies for example Chinese yuan to Brazilian real, it has to be relatively constant and stable. So this is necessary for creation of currency which combines and like is taking converts national currencies. For example, if we are looking at the creation of the euro currency and adoption of euro in multiple countries, we would say, like if we're looking at Germany and France, the two biggest economies in the European Union, this these countries, they like in France, they have the French franc, and in Germany they had the Deutsche Mark. Like the exchange and movement between the Deutsche Mark and French franc were basically very little. There was a very stable exchange ratio between the two, but there were a number of other countries which joined and adopted the euro, and one of these countries was Italy. And the Italian lira, it was relatively unstable and subject to inflation and subject to like big price movements and big price swings. Um, Even though it was considered not very stable currency, but eventually it was adopted in the conversion from lira to euro, and currently Italy plus many other countries like Spain, Portugal, Greece, they did adopt euro. Um, no matter that the previous national currencies of Spain, Portugal, and Greece, they were not very stable. But so in the same way, in creation of currency of the BRICS countries, these countries they have to look at the exchange ratios between the national currencies of these countries, and they have to decide on maybe a specific ratio or some range, low to high range of movement between their currencies. Basically, that's probably the first step in creation and adoption of a currency which could be used in trade between these countries, and it would be used in trade by other countries in the world. So I'm getting towards the end of our session. I'm looking at the questions and comments. If you have questions and comments, you can write them in the chat section, but I will be wrapping up very soon this event. Basically, we did look at the event of the meeting of BRICS digital currency, the announcement for work on creation of this BRICS digital currency, and the reactions and the drivers for this. As I mentioned, in the very beginning, my name is Paul Arsov. I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. We're building a community, and I like to invite you to come and join our communities. You can find the specific social networks that we're posting on our website. And the name of our website is decentralizedweb.org. Decentralized and web, there are two words, decentralizedweb.org. On the bottom of every page, you can see the icons of the social networks that we're posting on. You can come and become a follower of a specific social network, or join a specific channel and group. And you can get notified about events like this, and about what we are working on and what we are releasing. With this said, thank you for coming. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, and goodbye.